Oh, hell must have frozen over. Google did the right thing? What is going on with you good people? Welcome to my channel. I am Ty Smith, modern renaissance man. I thank you guys for taking time out your day. I was getting ready to fly into it and go fast, but I'm gonna slow down. I'm slowing down. I'm trying to listen. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to view my content. Make sure you hit this like button so that this content can continuously be recommended to you if you would, please. It also helps push the channel's views out there in the YouTube AI world. For more people to see this, it's up to you, the viewers, whether this video gets pushed out or not, all right? Also, make sure you follow me on all the platforms you see listed above and below. And don't forget, the contents of this video contains products that you may find. Like, why are those things popping up? Because you guys always email me who are trying to get into content creating, asking me what camera am I using, what mic am I using, keyboard, mouse, yada, yada, peanut butter. All those things will be flashed throughout this video, all right? Okay, folks, so we got to talk about this story because I don't know if you guys know. Some protesters that work for Google decided to stage a protest and bring themselves into their boss's office and shut themselves in being pro-Palestinian. They pro-Palestine against Israel. Yeah, this is what this is about. But they thought that it was going to go a different route because they see how woke Google is with a lot of stuff. But at the same time, they have no idea that Google is only doing exactly what the powers that be is telling them to do. They're just riding the trending wave of the current woke agenda. Check this out.
There were some Google employees who were pro-Palestinian who had sit-ins in the boss's office for 10 hours. The guy who runs Google Cloud out on the West Coast and also in the offices here in New York City. Well, eventually they called the cops and these people were carted off. I think these people did not realize that you do not have a First Amendment right when you are on private property. And Google wanted them to be working. And here's the headline today, and this is breaking news. 28 of them, part of this group, they were all fired, terminated after there was an internal investigation. The company said, you can't do that.
No, it disrupts the office space. And the vice president of global security wrote in a memo that was leaked to the Post, said they took over office spaces, defaced our property, and physically impeded the work of other Googlers. Their behavior was unacceptable, extremely disruptive, and made coworkers feel threatened. We will not tolerate it.
Right. So that happened in one of the places it happened was in New York. So they get fired. Who would think that protesting your boss would get you in trouble? Yeah. I had no idea. I have to look at the bylaws here. I wonder if I'm allowed to do that. Also, in terms of anti-Semitic, anti-Israeli attitudes, even though they claim assaults are down in New York, they say anti-Semitism incidents have jumped 110% since the October 7th attack. More than 60% of the incidents reported in New York City are in New York City, right. But overall, assaults are down 25%.
You know, I question if Google would do the right thing, so I have to applaud them for taking some type of action here. They said following the investigation, today we terminated the employment of 28 employees found to be involved. We will continue to investigate and take action.
But keep in mind, but Joe Biden's own staff was protesting him and his attitude. So they got to keep their job.
Keep in mind that these people are protesting Hamas going into Israel on October 7th. They're not in support of the Israelis on that attack. Also in Iran, I just saw this video. It shows the Iranian morality police officers shoving these ladies in their vans and arresting them for not wearing the hijab. And one of the ladies, she's a journalist and a university student, she was arrested from her home on Tuesday, posted that on X, that she had been detained, tased, and sexually assaulted by the morality police at a local metro station. Then she was arrested, taken to an unknown location for posting that on X, and then her X account was suspended. The wife and the daughter of an Iranian soccer goalkeeper, they were both arrested in Tehran on charges of violating hijab regulations.
This is who they support.
They should go live there.
One of the things, the lesson here this morning, as we started with these two protests, one last night, one the day before, is that now people are starting to get it. Actions have consequences. If you remember, on this couch we were talking, I think it was about 2 years ago.
But not in Colombia.
Well, Let's see what happens.
Hats off to Congress, though,
Because
for investigating this.
She said yesterday that a number of students have been suspended, although some are off suspension. But nonetheless, in 2022, I believe it was, on this couch, we talked about how Netflix, a bunch of employees at Netflix didn't like the content. And they were having protests at Netflix, just like they were having protests.
Yeah.
Right, it was over Dave Chappelle. And remember what Netflix said. They said, you know what, if you don't like our content,
bad.
Go somewhere
maybe
else.
you need to find another job. Obviously, that's the message to the people at Google. You don't like who we do business with? Work for somebody else.
So yeah, you heard all that, right? Like I said, Google and what they're doing on these platforms, what they're doing on YouTube, because Google owns YouTube, they're only playing the agenda. They know exactly what's right. They know what they should be doing righteously when it comes to free speech, all those things. But if you try to do those things on their grounds, look what Google does. All of a sudden, Google, you want law and order now? YouTube, you want law and order now? When people come and protest you, oh, now you want arrests to be made. Oh, now what those people are doing are wrong. But y'all have pushed this type of content out all day and deem it to be appropriate. If anybody speaks out against it or anything like that, then they're deemed to be inappropriate. Y'all would demonetize the video. Y'all would not allow friendly ads to be put on those particular type of videos because it doesn't fit your narrative or your agenda. It's amazing, isn't it, folks? But at the same time, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Good. So not only did these lunatics, these loonies, these woke, want to get attention individuals get arrested, they also lost their jobs. And it's a good chance you will not be coming back to Google. And you better hope that Google don't take it even further and say you won't have any type of emails. You won't be able to have YouTube or anything associated with Google because of this. Because of this. I don't know what Google's contracts or anything says or anything like that. I don't know the particulars, but I do know certain companies have policy to where they would say, if you do anything to bring negative attention to this company that you work for, et cetera, you are going to be, some places actually say you're going to be fined. You will be sued and you will not be able to return to work and work for this company or any other branches of this company whatsoever. Yeah. Anyway, let me just say this. Do you guys, well, let me ask you this. Do you guys find it kind of shocking that Google did something right? Do you think Google only did this because it happened on their soil? Is Google doing exactly what a lot of politicians do? They spew out stuff and say that people should open their homes to migrants. People should be more willing. But then we bring them to like Martha's Vineyard, or we put them in like Nancy Pelosi's front door. We put them at mayors and senators and Congress front doors. Then they push them out. What do you think should happen to these employees? Should they get their job back? Should it be they're only doing what Google and other platforms encourage them to do? Let me know in the comments after this video if you would, please. Don't forget, hit that right there so that this video can be pushed out in the algorithm. I really appreciate it. I look forward to what you guys have to say on this one. I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man. I hope and pray every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. Most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.